Hello guys, and welcome to another Let's Play of Company of Heroes Blitzkrieg. Today I will be taking a look and show you the Panzer Elite command skill or command fraction or whatever you like to call it, the Luftwaffe anyway. And we're still on the 4.8 mod, and I haven't really gone through it thoroughly, but I expect that not much have changed that you will like give obvious note to. Well, anyway, I'll wait for this to load up and let's get you going on that. I'm playing against an easy computer, so there won't be much of a resistance, all for the show off. So I'll start with selecting the Luftwaffe. You can see here we can have access to battle tanks, mainly the Panzer as a battle tank. You probably use the Panzer 4, and you have a tank destroyer in case of the Panzer. And various techniques for using the Luftwaffe, bombing missions, infantry, and this type of support. I tend to like the paratroopers mostly, so we'll see how this gets going. So that's Luftwaffe selected. Panzer Grenadiers, no stranger. Well, they're all the same. I usually start up with the logistics company when playing the Panzer Elite, and that's my second unit, which I have to wait for until the barracks is built, is to get the two Kettenkrads. And I'll always try to use my Panzer Grenadiers to capture the closest point I have first, well, semi-closest. And let the Kettenkrads do the other work. You also have access to the Schwimmwagen, the Opel Blitz flak truck, and light anti-tank gun. I have never used the Schwimmwagen. Not really sure what I'm supposed to do with it, but scorching strategic points or lane mines, I can see that actually being useful. Other than that, I prefer using the light anti-tank gun. So I'm going to build one to set up right here. I've played this map numerous of times. It's one of my favorite maps, going one-on-one against the computer. But as I said, today it's not going to be a big match. The Luftwaffe can utilize the Vampire half-track. We're going to go into the half-tracks a bit later. Which that you can deploy half-tracks beyond your usual alliance, and you don't require the section here. So for instance, like you put my Vampire half-track here, deploy it, and use its ability to gain resources from this area, despite that I don't have a connection like I'm used to for getting from the other points. We'll get onto that. So my engineers are finished, and I forgot to build my Kettenkrad, so I'm going to build two of those. Otherwise it's the first thing I build when I've completed my logistics company. So I'll send up my anti-tank gun up there. It can also be camouflaged and use high explosives. High explosives are really useful taking out infantry units. As of lately, I've seen that that a lot of anti-tank guns has been knocked out by single shots from Sherman tanks. The Allies. Well, we'll see. I don't expect to face any Shermans in this skirmish. And I will also get up the company. It's for building infantry units, so it's basically like what you prefer, getting infantry out first or vehicles out first. If you take a look at the things you have access to here, you have the ambulance half-track. It's really useful if you like to use infantry units. I like to have one of those. Oh, we're under attack already, so I'll deploy that anti-tank gun right there. We're going to need to support them with a few infantry units. I can actually get... I need a bit more fuel to get the half-track out, or suppress them. And I got another Kettenkrad out loose, I guess. Yes. So I'll use that to capture these points right here. And the barracks are finished, so I'll send up an assault grenadier team to assist my anti-tank gun, which they took out, I guess. Yeah, they did. So we can go back to the half-tracks. Ambulance half-track is basically what it says. You can hook them up to infantry units, so it follows the infantry unit automatically, and you can reinforce from that half track. You have the machine gun half track, which is good in the beginning to take out enemy infantry and light armored vehicles, although it takes a while. You won't be able to take out an enemy steward with it, so like light armored tanks is not a good idea to attack with it. 75mm Kampfwagenkanon half track. I don't use that very much unless I'm having very much trouble with light armored tanks. Then can be very helpful. Once the enemies start to field Germans, I feel that it by then is pretty outdated. So I tend to use, or I like to use pack guns instead. Mortar half track, basically what it says. It's a half track armed with a mortar. Great for taking out units at the distance. So we have some oppositions here. I'll use my anti-tank gun grenades. And the jeep goes pop away. And I also use the hold position to force my infantry to hold. There's a great cover right here. It's going to be useful for me. On and on. Light ammunition half track. It's more or less. It's more useful if you play scorched earth with the Panzer Elite, because the artillery is like the Hummel and the Grill Wesp as well. They will use that. Already discussed vampire half track, and here's one of my favorite half tracks, or like the favorite one, the 20mm armed half track. That's very good for taking out light armored vehicles and the infantry, so it can do the job very well. On and on, we have the scout car, which can be used to secure territory, which is very useful. That can also be used to enhance the income from the strategic point that you capture. Not many people uses that, and it's a very useful feature.
We're losing a fuel depot to the enemy.
So I'll send up some infantry here to deal with the American infantry. Other than that, on this side you have the armored car. It has a 28mm anti-tank rifle instead of the machine gun, but I don't think it's really useful, because it's competing against the Puma and 75mm Kampfwagenkanon armed half track, so I don't really like it. The Pak 38 50mm anti-tank gun, I like that. I always like the tank gun, even though I prefer the 75mm before it, but you can get this earlier, and it's relatively cheap also with its 230 points. And looks like they're pinning my infantry down. This is not going. This is not so easy as I anticipated. So I'll just see if I can deal with these infantry units. I'm going to retreat them because they're heavily pinned. The Americans reposition, and I'll throw in a grenade. And okay, so they are playing the airborne tactics. So they're counting my Luftwaffe with airborne. That's nice. Oh, I lost my build unit, but I'm getting the pack gun out. Then you have the Puma, which comes in various types. Oh, I forgot all about that unit. Retreat. I still prefer the 75mm pack over the 75 Puma. And you also have upgrade to the rocket battery. Really annoying thing if it's being fired upon you, and not so much useful if you're fighting against the enemy, unless you take out a bunch of like infantry. So I think I'll deploy the Blitz half track, because I feel that I'm being very pushed back here. And I'll set up an infantry barracks, because that's required to get the Panzer factories out and the Panzer Jaeger command. Not much happening here except the catching point there. Reinforce my grenadier team, and I will see the use of the Blitz half track, which I'm going to use against their infantry right there. There, it came with their jeep. We'll see. So far we haven't managed to advance very far in the tree. Usually if I go on the defensive, I like to use the Luftwaffe pioneers, the mine, and to get the 88. Once you get the 88 up, you're basically secured your positions immediately. And since we're being a bit pushed back, I'll use the air recon and then the Focke-Wulf bomber. You can also use Stuka to use this, but that's an option in the command selection. So I'll select the recon plane. They're also relatively very expensive to use as well, so that needs to be taken into account. Oh, they knocked out my gun crew, but I got an infantry center here, so should be all fine. And also you need to upgrade to get those buildings. If you take a look on the infantry side, not much is changing. If you play Luftwaffe tank counter Scorched Earth, I think it's the same all over. The Hauptsturmführer is a very good unit because he can deploy the Waffen missiles, which is my favorite infantry unit in the game.
The enemy is weakening even now.
So I'll deploy those with an MG42 and move those up, and we'll start recapturing points. I'm going to need a lot of munition to use the air recon and the Focke-Wulf bomber. I think the Focke-Wulf bomber is 250 munitions, and oh, we need to deal with that mortar team. And I think that Stuka is 125, so that's half price. Although Stuka has a tendency to fail unless they fix that.
The enemy will never
So
be
build
able
the
to
Panzer
match
support
the
command
efficiency of our
structure once we get
support.
enough fuel or sufficient fuel. Well, so far so good, I'd say. Truck has sustained some damage. We got the bomber right there.
Strafing runs can now be
Ah,
requisitioned
I
by
had
our
selected the
troops.
Stuka bomber, so it's 125. Good call for me. It means I need 175 before I can start bombing their base. But I don't think I'll see more action than enemy infantry actually.
Ready for all group. Infantry section ready to move out. Base for order.
And they got a machine gun team in the base. That's interesting. We'll get out the Luftwaffe rocket team to show that off. If you have played this game for some while, you might have faced, if you're the Germans at least, you might have faced Calliope, or is it? I think it's Calliope Sherman. It's basically the same thing, or the annoying rocket jeep. And we're going to show off
We have
the...
eliminated the enemy once more.
can show off the vampire half-track, because that's not the same as the other ones. I think the common half-tracks for all the fractions are these four and this one. Not really sure about that one. And these are also the same, except for the Luftwaffe.
Fall in. What is our target?
So we'll capture that. We got a Luftwaffe here. So I'll deploy it here to get enemy base within range.
Enemy unit has fallen to our might.
Two sand grenades to deal with that unit. That was quite unnecessary. Oh. Oh, he's cloaked. Okay. Try and capture that point in the meanwhile. As you can see, we have a point here that, well, these points aren't captured. I'll try and capture this one. See if the vampire half-track actually can manage to get there.
Infantry section ready.
There we go. That's one. That one's ready. So let's pull him up here. Oh. I think they have to have... yeah, from an enemy sector. Yeah, that's right. Actually have to... they have to have it under their control, so I'll just deploy it here. Let's see. So the information you got earlier about it was a bit wrong, but still. I don't really need these types of buildings. Which one is the cheapest? Panzer Jaeger Command. Yeah, I can build that.
Time to build the Panzer Jäger Command.
Not sure if I can produce anything from it though. There we go.
Good.
Yeah, we can fire an Werfer barrage. If you're standing behind buildings, I suggest you use the high angle, otherwise you will hit the buildings. But I think it's pretty much all in the clear here, because it's very much open field. It's a very wide spread of fire, so here it goes. See if we hit anything. Yeah, actually damage an infantry unit. There's a crest. Yeah, not much damage being done there. So we still have to wait another nearly 100 till I get that. We got the... Oh yeah, we got the Marder. Can actually get that out so we have something. No, have to wait a while for it. There isn't much more to show off here, except like the units that are common for the Panzer Elite. Show off the Waffen-SS. So here we got an enemy captured point. Maybe we should actually put them down here. See what happened to my anti-tank gun, by the way. We'll strengthen those up and go and capture that. So I'll use him right here. I think I actually got the... Yeah, I got that. So let's pull him out of that. Let's move in here. So that should... I have 21 now. So I'll use him here. And you can see it raised to 24. Not much, but it's some. Used for deep infiltration. So 125, that pays off for the Stuka dive bomber. We'll need 50 to do their reconnaissance to actually see their base. And hope he doesn't get shot down, because I noticed they have an A gun position. Was it right here somewhere? In the corner? And now we'll get the Luftwaffe pioneers. I will mainly try and focus on like these, because this is pretty obvious. I've never used butterfly bombs. I think they're quite useless. Mostly you drop them down and you drop them close to enemy infantry and they will shoot it down, and it makes no sense. So I don't use that very much. 88 depends if I need to go on a defensive style. I prefer that, but you need the Luftwaffe pioneers to build them. But they can build them. They can also construct the what is it, 20mm flak gun as well, so they're pretty useful. Ah, here comes the Waffen-SS. So that's a special ability that the Hauptsturmführer can deploy. See it right here. So I'll deploy them right here. They're very hard-hitting infantry, which you can customize with anti-tank weapons and heavy machine guns as well. So we'll use those to try and get some benefits. Would like to equip those, but we're going to wait for the bombing missions. Once deployed, I always tend to use the command range on the Hauptsturmführers on my Waffen-SS to enhance their abilities slightly. So I'll use them to sneak into the back of the enemy base. So soon air recon should be available for bombing mission. And I can also drop down some Luftwaffe pioneers to show off their abilities. If I remember correctly, which I should have done now, is to show you where you can drop them and where you can't, because various types of paratroopers can be dropped in various types of areas. And the further you come into Blitzkrieg, the more equipment you can drop down. And dropping down mortars, which are paratroopers, which you have dropped behind enemy lines, is very good for hitting the enemy base, especially if you're playing like 2 versus 2 or 3, 4 versus, yeah, that number. So you can drop, if your friends are being hit hard, dropping down paratroopers behind the enemy lines and using mortars to attack the enemy base will give your enemy something to think about, and they are being forced to refocus, even though the paratroopers are easily taken out, yes, with a single tank or something like that, but it's still annoying. I'd still say that it's a bit more annoying than the what's it called, the rocket ships and Calliope Shermans. So as you can see here, I can build a 20mm fortification here, but I can't build the 88 because I still need this upgrade here, which I'm trying to acquire as well. If we take a look at where we can drop these paratroopers, you can see I can't drop them anywhere except in controlled areas. So you need a controlled area to drop them down. But once you drop them down, they might be useful for building and placement. My thought upon them is that they're not a very good combat unit. Not at longer ranges. They can be quite good at close ranges and can't handle like more experienced infantry. So I tend to use these as a build unit only and emergency defense unit. So I never attack with those unless they're in a larger number than the enemy. So I'll go ahead and get my Waffen to capture the point. They also have access to various types of assault grenades, so they're very good in like urban maps. Are really good for clearing out enemy infantry. Anyways, this is how I like to utilize the Stuka or Focke-Wulf bomber. I use air reconnaissance on the area first, so we can see here, nice base right there, and the A gun is firing. And I'll use the Focke-Wulf to take out this. Actually, they're building something in that motor pole, so I'll actually attack that. So I'll choose the direction from the plane. And can you hear the Stuka incoming? Yeah, and they knocked out their motor pole. Pretty useful. And I can see here they actually can have the ability to build heavy tanks. So they got something here, so I wanna set up, but I can't. I'm guessing because I don't have control over it. Yeah, must be built in connected territory. So we'll have some work to do here. We have a lot of things to do. Go and capture that. Let's see what we can build. Since I know they have built a tank factory, or what's it called? That's a tank factory, I don't know. Can I check it out? No, I can't. I'm going to build a Panzer Marder 1. Marder 1. Otherwise my flak gun is doing a pretty decent job keeping their light vehicles out. And they get that captured, so... And I'll get that. There we go. And we'll set up... You can either build fortified emplacement or unfortified emplacement. I'll build that right there. Don't really care, but ha! That's neat. They actually drop it in. Never seen that before. So let's see. They had an AA emplacement right there, which I can't do anything about. So I can't move in with my infantry. They got it there as well, so they got their base pretty much locked down. I'll just move this unit up. This actually gives us a chance to show off the ambulance half-track. So I'll select the... There we go. And go back here and select the ambulance half-track. And here are the butterfly bombs. Wow, they're actually quite expensive, but I can drop them down, let's say, close to a position. Which they tend to like on, so I'll drop them down right there. Got the A gun done as well. It's interesting graphics. Yeah, there they come. I don't remember if they can actually spot this, but they look like... Yeah, exactly. And this is the reason for why I think they are so useless, because they can actually spot them from afar, take them out. So, what am I supposed to use them for? So here comes the ambulance, and I'll use maintain command range on my assault grenadiers. And we're being attacked by US Rangers. And they're no match, especially on easy level, for my Waffen-SS. And as soon as this one comes in range, I can start to reinforce my grenadiers. Usually Panzer elite troops can reinforce from half-tracks as standard, which the Wehrmacht can't. The Wehrmacht utilizes field hospital instead, where you can train medics that you also can hook up to your infantry. So I'm going to capture some points. And I need to do something so we actually get some points in here. So I can demonstrate the 88. Well, knocked something out at least. And one way that you can actually tell where the Calliope or the rocket jeep or the Nerberwerfer is being fired from is the smoke. Regardless of fog of war, you always see the smoke from where the unit fired from, so bear that in mind. So don't fire this from like within your base, especially if you're playing against a human player. It might be the last thing you do. I'll get the Marder, so I'll put him in here. Because it sounds like a Sherman. Yeah, he dropped a tree, so I'll deploy my Marder there and hope he doesn't come this way. Wolfram core anti-tank grenades. Nope, not being able to deploy that. That's a yeah, it's a Sherman. And pop goes my half-track, most likely. Well, this is how you use anti-tank grenades. Move up close, hit the run button, and the engine is damaged. So he won't be able to escape my Marder tank now. It actually took a while to take that Sherman out. But since we got Sherman is in the works, it's time to show off the mighty 88 of the Germans. Oh, of course, it's fuel dependent. So I'll deploy that right here. Actually, I'll deploy it right here, because I don't think they will come this way. Most likely they will come here, but you can't participate in anything. Anticipate anything. I am participating already. What did we need? 75? I can't just build a light version. I'll do that, build a light version. And we see that we have some enemy infantry in here, so I'm going to use the high angle rocket salvo because I don't want to hit my own. So you see the angle is more like straight upwards. The infantry is moving out of the way. Reinforce my stormtroopers.
Forward supply lines are broken.
Main advantage with these is that you can switch between anti-tank rounds and high explosive rounds, and if they walk into your field of fire while having high explosive rounds, you will take out an enemy squad quite easily. I thought I heard another Sherman. Yep, I heard another Sherman. So it could be a good idea to field the Puma as well, to have something mobile against it. Well, also I don't have enough fuel, but in this case I control 1 fuel point, which is giving me 4 fuel points, so I'll construct the scout car and show you that ability as well. And it's common for all the Wehrmacht Panzer League units. Oh, we have an uncaptured fuel point right there. I think I'll go and get it. There we go. What? Oh yeah, the 88. So I'm going to fill the bigger emplacement. Oh, it was fuel. Sorry about that. I thought it was ammunition. Happy thoughts. So first you need the logistics upgrade with this, which is relatively cheap. I wonder if it's one of the cheapest upgrades you can get. Well, let's see, how many points is that? That's 9. Oh my, I'll be damned. Well, hello, you don't need to drive that far. Just right here. And you need to park the vehicle within the territory. Ah, here comes the Sherman now. Fantastic. That's how you blow that away. So I got the upgrade. Well, you just use secure sector. Choose how I want to place my vehicle. And you see, immediately get 2 points more. That makes it, what, 25% something? No, 50% more. There we go. What's next on to-do list? I won't bother with the upgrades because you can actually read what those do. And oh yeah, it was a Puma. Let's get it out. Like feel the. We should start getting paratroopers here. And the Vampire half-track is still moving here because no unit has went down this pass to actually spot it. If they get close enough, they will spot it and they will destroy it. So I'll move that one in. Put me in range of that nasty flank emplacement. And they're using annoying infantry, so I don't. Yeah, let's go ahead and pull another paratrooper on. Wow! He was actually quite good taking out emplacements. I did really not anticipate that. Wow, you made a good job of that. So let's conduct a bombing mission. This time I need vision to do it, so I'll use air recon. Air recon accomplished, so we'll use the bomber. Here's the Stuka now. That's one less gun emplacement. So that gives us the option to take you look at the Fallschirmjäger, which you can drop in heavy weapons too. So since they have a position here, I'll drop in some paratroopers. This map is not really ideal for paratroopers. You should use a bit more terrain to utilize the paratroopers at its best way. So I'm going to wait until that Sherman is destroyed before dropping any paratroopers in, unless it like sneaks back. So these paratroopers, you can drop them down anywhere, as you see. So one preferred way might be to drop them, let's say we want to deal with this MG team. They're actually pulling back, but you can drop them down right here.
Infantry has been deployed to infiltrate enemy positions.
So once I have them behind my line, I can deal with whatever threat there is. And always take care of capturing the resources you're given, because it's useful. In this case I get a Panzer. So these are ideal for dropping down with other various types of paratroopers. So I'll use them to capture the point. And we'll get that. I think there's a limit to this unit, so you can only drop down 2 units. And I think it's the same with the what's it called? Gebrätsjäger. Yeah. Well, German ain't they exactly the best, but Gebirgsjäger, yeah. Well, you get the picture anyway. So as you see, I've dropped down 2 units and I can't use them anymore, because that's their limit. So if we keep this up, we should be able to get the Gebirgsjäger and also weapon drop down. So I'd say my paratroopers are doing a good job. We'll capture the rest of their points.
Good to see you, Herr Kommandant. What's the good news?
Secure. Fall in. All right, let's
And also they have a ability to build a sit trench. I don't utilize those. I mostly use the what's it called? Sandbags. They also have the ability to sabotage.
catch your breath.
And the 88 barrage. This is if you build a lot of 88s, this is a very useful feature if you get close enough to the enemy base with the paratroopers. Or if you set up a line and you drop them down like here and there was like a big hill, you can use them to bomb the enemy base with the 88s. I think that gives the 88 an unlimited range, so they can fire all over the map. I'm not sure. I won't have the time to show that off, because I want to show off the rest of the paratroopers. But we'll see. If I come to that, I use that. But oh yeah, it requires the activation of this, which I won't be able to get, so.
We have secured the munitions depot.
A bit more points. Keep capturing the points.
Moving to capture load the Panzer track. Fall in. We move to secure a depot point noted. Jawohl. Squad moving to capture.
Didn't I have a Waffen assassin? Oh yeah, I moved those down. So I'll move those up again. Sherman's still alive. And we can do another air recon. Basically taking out their entire AA defense. Not really sure why the recon is being used like 5 minutes. Close enough. Didn't hit my intended target then. I'll switch to... I wanted to switch to high explosive. Couldn't do that. Second set of paratroopers, the Gebetsjäger. So I'll drop those down here. Oh, if you haven't guessed by now, Luftwaffe is a very manpower requiring fraction to play. They are equipped with the Panzer Faust, or you can equip them. You can most useful feature you have with the paratroopers, and that goes for the Gebetsjäger, the Fallschirmjäger, and the Luftland Pioneers, is that you can always reinforce those on the go. So you don't need to be close to a half-track or a headquarters or a field hospital or anything like that. They can always be reinforced on the go. That's very useful if you manage to keep them out of AA fire and yeah, grenades basically. Anything that takes your unit out very easy. As from these units, because they still need an ambulance of some sort. Help you with that. They don't got any AA defense, so I'm going to use these to take out this building. Another useful feature is they can drop down a light anti-infantry gun. It's pretty decent, and you can also set a retreat point. It's the same with the Hauptsturmführer, which is here by the way, sorry. You can put a retreat point so they retreat. If you use the T key on the keyboard, however, they will always retreat back to the headquarters. So I'll use grenades here. There's not much left of the American base though. Got some infantry, that was pretty good. I'll just use this as a bombing mission. Not sure what the Sherman fires at. So we're going to test my Fury unless they fixed it in the update. So I set a retreat point right there. So I need to use a W for them to retreat. If I use the T key, which you're probably used to, I will still retreat. So I'll use W. My infantry. And they will retreat there. Wow, that AA emplacement still stands. Pretty good. So throw another grenade in there. Not much damage done. We need a couple more points though. give those the Sturmgewehr just for this fun of it. There we go. So we'll use this, see what type of field equipment can drop down, and of course I need more munitions, so we'll just have to wait. He's securing that. Let's fuel. We'll use the paratroopers to capture that point. A bit bold, but here it goes for nothing. So I didn't manage to retreat with my Waffenesses. Not quite sure why they tried to go that way. Let's see where the Sherman goes. Doesn't go anywhere, so I'll just pull my TD in. Try and make short work of that Sherman. Me first. Yeah, that's a nice blowback. We'll use the Puma. Upside with the Puma is that it was only the 20 mil that has a turret. Yeah, and here you'll see as I can reinforce my troops on the go. Not sure why they retreated back though. See, capture the point, please. Let's see, there you go. And here it comes dropping down. Wow, the Puma bounced. Not used to that. Need to get a grenade on them. Good job, team. So we can drop down the equipment. So you can't drop down the equipment to the Gebreitsjäger. And where's my other paratroopers? But you can drop them down to the Fallschirmjäger. So drop down some equipment for them. We'll see what that is. Oof, a jeep. I'm so scared. Ah, it's an annoying rocket jeep. Oh, the Sherman's still alive. Ooh, take a look at that. 2 with the Striker 1. Ah, we can actually utilize this. So I'll be able to show that off after all. Need a lot of munition for everything apparently. But here you can see that they have dropped down 2 packs. One pack will contain the 32 mil, the MG34, if I'm not mistaken, and the other one is going to contain the mortar, which we got right there. The best thing is that you can use the paratroopers to capture the mortar first. So they capture the mortars, reinforce them, capture the second equipment. If I were to capture this, I would lose my entire paratrooper team. Instead, I'm waiting for my paratroopers to drop down before securing that. So they're now 4. Which means I can use this MG without problem. And you get an MG team and a mortar team. And just keep reinforcing your paratroopers. And I need 75 to use that. So I'll move my paratroopers up. Because I'm all in the clear. And I'll use the 88 fuel cell barrage. Well, I still need to be within this visual circle to use it. So I think I need to pull them a bit more forward. There we go, we're under attack, and for some reason I can't use that. Why is that? It might be that I have to be within range of the 88. It could actually be that, I'm not sure. I seldom use this. But that would seem to be the case. I need to be within firing range of the 88s. Or is it that... Oh yeah! That might also be the case, actually. Yeah. You have to see the area. Now this is a relatively small map. You have to see the area, and I know that some features are not usable in the enemy base. This might actually be one of them, because this would be pretty nasty. So basically, I've shown off most of the Panzer Elite Luftwaffe things. There's not much left to show. The tanks, like, they work with the same as the other faction. What I haven't shown off is that you can use this. It's a Henschel Combat Air Patrol. It's good for taking out enemy tanks if they come in like big numbers, three or more, something. I tend to use that to take out the enemy tanks. Otherwise, I try to get at least a Panzer IV or the Panther or something to take them out, because I can't really make do with only infantry. So this is basically it for the Luftwaffe. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them here, and I'll try and answer them. I'm no expert at this whatsoever, and I just enjoy the game, and I like to show you this for fun, basically. So we'll just give them the the veterancy. We can actually drop down the the Hef gun. We can drop that down and show that. So I'll pull all my other units and pull them back. So I only got this. And we'll see whether there's the airdrop now.
Ready to pass on orders. Squad moving to location now. Move! Move!
So I'll move them in. Let's see if there's anything left. So we got it, and we'll use it. And this is also a nice feature, artillery salvo. And like with the team down here, I'll reinforce them as I have captured the equipment. And now we can start firing. I think it fires an artillery salvo of 3 to 5 shots, something like that, maybe more. It's been a long time since I used that. That infantry gun, if you like, it can also be used to replace the 75mm pack gun, I think. But I only use it in Luftwaffe. Wow, that was actually quite effective. So we'll drop them down on the base right here. Just pound them with whatever we have. Stuka. That was a pretty much direct hit, I'd say.
We've destroyed the building. What's the good news?
And you can always camouflage most anti-tank gun. So guys, that's pretty much it for the Luftwaffe. If you like this video, please feel free to subscribe, leave a comment if you think if there's anything I missed or you think I've missed. Also hit the like button if you like it, and well, I'd say that's pretty much it. I'll try and go through the rest of the command skills, the command abilities and the rest of the fractions. I've only done the British RAF and this one so far, so there's a long way to go still, but that's it. If you like this, subscribe, leave a comment, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys around next time. Goodbye.